We've all seen Andrew Huberman's latest biological hack to streamline our fitness journey, or Tim Ferris's new tip to boost our productivity tenfold, but here's the truth. These hacks don't work. Or at least, not in the way we think they do. In this video, we're deep diving into the world of productivity hacks and finding out why many of these protocols can hinder your progress rather than help, but more importantly, how a simple change in perspective can go a long way in chasing your dreams. Productivity hacks are tips and tricks designed to help the person make the most of the resources they have to achieve their goals. Essentially, they're designed to be shortcuts. Online celebrities like Andrew Huberman, Chris Williamson, or Tim Ferris have grown to fame for providing us, the audience, with many different ways we can improve various aspects of our lives, from our fitness journey to our ability to concentrate. However, despite the potential benefits, many people are running to these tips and tricks for all the wrong reasons, leading to more harm than good. See, the issue arises with productivity when people start to focus too much on being productive and less on what the original goal was they wanted to achieve. I personally have fallen victim to this myself. For a period of time, I was obsessed with making the most of every single waking moment. I'd wake up super early, have a cold shower, go for a walk, clean my room, write a to-do list, eat the right brain foods, meditate, journal, and all of this to find myself 3 hours into my day without having actually done any work. And this is where the issue arises. Just because we're moving doesn't mean we're going in the right direction. Busyness doesn't equal progress. I'll break it down for you. Chasing a goal is like climbing a mountain. When we are at the base, it can be very intimidating. So instead of starting, we prolong that. We check our equipment, we recheck it, we look at the weather forecast to make sure that it's going to be perfect. We check our routes, we look for shortcuts, we do everything we can possibly do to avoid actually taking the first step up the mountain. And we do this with our goals. The more important and the more significant a goal is in our life, the scarier it is to start. And the more vulnerable we are to get distracted or to find things to soothe ourselves without taking the challenge head on. And that is what I was doing during this period of productivity. I wasn't doing the work, partially because it was very boring and I didn't really want to do it. But secondly, I was afraid to fail. I didn't want to put all my effort in and realize that I wasn't good enough, so I just didn't try. I looked for these things to soothe myself and make me feel like I'm doing something productive, when in reality, I just needed to get the work done. The good news is, if you're looking for these productivity tips and tricks, it means you're ambitious. It means you have a goal that you want to chase, and this is something a lot of people don't actually have. Now all you need to do is start taking the right steps. The steps that lead to progress, not just feelings of productivity. And taking the correct steps forward can be harder than you think. Chasing a goal is rarely a linear path. It requires hard work, but also smart work. And this is where intentional practice comes in. Intentional practice is engaging in activities with a clear purpose in mind. It's a pretty simple concept, but not easy to execute. It requires us to constantly be reflecting on our behaviors and assessing whether we are genuinely moving in the right direction. It requires a lot of honesty, and that can be tough at times. For example, these days I've cut out most of my morning routine. I still go through those morning walks to get sunlight exposure, to make sure I sleep well the following day, and it also gives me time to mentally plan out my day. It has a lot of uses, but it doesn't take up too much time. But to cut the rest of that morning routine out required me to sit down and admit to myself that I was just avoiding doing the work that I really needed to do. And you can see this in a lot of people. They're trying so hard to achieve their goals, but they're not really getting anywhere. And this is often because their practice is not intentional. They're not identifying their weaknesses or the next steps they need to take. They're often repeating the same actions without any meaningful changes and expecting different results. So my suggestion to you is sit down and have some honest reflection. Why is it you're not achieving your goals? Are you actually moving in the right direction? Or are you just focused on feeling productive, that you're not taking the correct steps forward? And I want to be clear, there is certainly space for these productivity hacks in our lives, but use them with caution. It is so easy to fall into that trap of doing a lot but not going anywhere. Trust me, I know from experience. And if you're watching this video now and thinking, hey, I use productivity hacks and I'm absolutely smashing life. First of all, thanks for watching this far in the video. And secondly, intentional practice can always help make improvements. Perhaps there's even more space for growth in your upwards trajectory. This process requires us to be honest and open to change. This is something I dove into in a recent video where I changed my perspective about the toxic masculinity movement. You can check the video out right here. Aside from that, I hope you enjoyed this video and you took something from it. Please feel free to leave me any feedback. I would greatly appreciate it. I am trying to improve. And have a lovely day. Bye bye.